Hello there guys and welcome to another race here in Hydra Racing League for round number 7 in Belgium. And remember, this is the Alpha tier, not the Beta tier, in which I am the full-time driver. In Alpha tier, I am the reserve driver, and I was just waiting in which car would be, and guess what? We're in Alpine, and you're wondering what happened to the second part of the race. Have I forgot to make that video? No, absolutely not. The reason I didn't do the second part of the Azerbaijan race, it's because it didn't exist. The second part of the race, they didn't continue, and they decided to not give points to any of these drivers because, yeah, they decided to not continue with the race, and it was just half of the race. So yeah, they decided to just cancel the whole race, and here we are in Belgium. We're dealing a little bit of traffic during the pit lane exit, but I have dealt with it, and it was nothing to deal with, just a little bit of slowdown, but it won't do a lot of problems with that. And we're seeing that well, some drivers are struggling with these weather conditions, because I know that maybe almost no one practiced in rain because they weren't expecting to rain during qualifying, and also in the race it's going to be dry, so that's the main reason they didn't practice. And meanwhile, we're testing our limits in these dry, wet conditions, well, intermediate conditions, and I haven't done much practice in the dries because I got THR Ragnar training, and another race I missed from Elite League Racing Cup because it was, although not at the same time, but it was 15 minutes later than the THR Ragnar trainings, and also 15 minutes it was just only qualifying, and I couldn't not participate in the race because the team boss will be very mad. Although, yeah, I have to betray Bernie, so yeah, that was just pretty bad for me to the league. But we are here in Belgium, and I haven't done much practice. I just did like 5 laps in time trials, and fortunately that was enough to make me a little bit confident that I would be fast in that circuit. And fast I mean like around in the midfield maybe. But we are here in the first flying lap of this session, although this isn't necessary because the track will dry soon. So what's the point of driving in the full wet, well, I mean intermediate conditions, if the track will dry up? And I'll make a faster lap time obviously with these slick tires, just for fun. Yeah, just driving just for fun. We're heading into these corners, beginning sector 2. We're heading into a no-name corner, and I was just testing my limits, and we're heading into 1, and well, I was just under the limit. I should have gone way faster, and yeah, I haven't done much practice, unless with intermediate conditions, because in this game there's no rain in time trials. You cannot select rain, and yeah, that's just a little bit an L for the game. That annoyed a little bit, but well, it is what it is, so let's just deal with that. And we're heading into the bus stop chicane, and we are about to break into that corner, wishing that, ooh, we just brake too late, or maybe we brake too violently and we locked terribly our rear brakes, and we crossed the line to set a lap time of 156.9 or 860. Yeah, it's an 860. I decided to do another lap right after it, because I decided to let's see how much faster can I be, and we're seeing that we're now gaining 4/10 of a second right before finishing sector 1. I decided to go up with that front brake bias all the way to 56%, and we're seeing that we're setting the fastest sector 1. That is just pretty good for us, and Krikov sets the fastest lap. We're down to P6, although I'm not minding that. I'll lower down positions, and we're heading into the no-name corner, and we're already gaining 7/10 of a second, although I just got way worse into that corner, so that lowered down to 5.3 of a second. And heading to form, we just got way more into the limit, and we recovered that time that I lost into the no-name corner, and we're finishing sector 2, and look at the time we are gaining. We're almost gaining 8/10 of a second, although into Stavelot I wasn't getting too much great, and I lost way more tenths of a second, and now overall I'm now improving just 3/10 of a second. And Guero sets the fastest lap, and we're getting into the bus stop chicane. On this time I decided to just do way more careful, and I did decently, and as you can see now I'm improving 3.3 seconds. That's the time I just lost in the previous lap, and I just set the lap time in second place. That is just a pretty good lap time for us. So let's just head into the garage, although I just put the fuel to just run for one flying lap, not two flying laps, and yeah, I'll run out of fuel here, although it won't be much of a concern because I'm now in my in lap. And also, when you run out of fuel in this game, you can still continue in the track, although you'll be way slower in the straight line speeds. You won't get much power, but it is not in real life that you just get stopped and you DNF because you ran out of fuel. No, it's not the case here. You just can get into the pit lane, although you have run out of fuel. So yeah, let's just do that thing, and let's just wait until the truck dries, and let's just after that get into the soft tires and set a faster lap time, of course. And now we are heading to our second and third and final flying lap of this session. The track has dried out, but still I decided to wait until the 2-minute mark, and we are here for our final flying lap. We dropped down to P11 because of course drivers set faster lap times because they were on slick tires on now dried up track. We're getting, of course, gaining more than a second while exiting Las Suas. Oh my goodness, I was forgetting the corner. That's just unforgivable. And Guero seated his place, and we just set the fastest sector 1. That's just pretty good for us, and we are exiting Lecombe, and we are now heading into Bruxelles, and we are now gaining 4 seconds, and we're heading into a no-name corner, and we are now gaining 5.6 seconds. That's just extremely good how it is the difference between intermediate and still conditions. And we are heading into the campus corners, and well, I'm just a little bit stressed, and unfortunately I just exceeded the track limits and I just invalidated my lap time. That is just pretty bad, but still I decided to finish my lap just in case if I hadn't invalidated my lap time, in which position I would be. But that's just pretty heartbreaking for me, and we dropped down to P13, and that may be the position we're going to qualify. That's just pretty bad for us. And well, we're heading into the bus stop chicane. I didn't lock my rear brakes, and we are about to finish my invalidated lap time, unfortunately, to set a lap time of 1:42.710. Oh, oh boy, that is just really heartbreaking. And I could be pole with that lap time. Damn, I could be on pole. Ah, that's just pretty frustrating for me. And yeah, that's just heartbreaking moment. And I could get pole, but yeah, my lap time got invalidated. So here it is, the qualifying results, and yeah, the message came from Eddie, the league owner, and he said that the lobby we're going to be in the race will be different, and it is because someone that shouldn't be in this league or in this race got into the qualifying session, and they decided to switch to another lobby. So yeah, let's just go to the other lobby. And yeah, that's just heartbreaking moment for me. I could get pole, but I just invalidated my lap time. But yeah, that is just it is what it is. But I knew that I'm fast in this circuit, so let's just get in the race and hope I can come back many places and maybe get into the top 5. So here is the pre-race strategy. It'll be a medium soft, although it is reversed. I should say soft medium strategy, although my force of heart said medium. Meanwhile, I decided to grab my setup. Well, I shouldn't decide it. Instead, I should just do it without deciding to just go and grab my setup and lower it down to 49 kilograms. And the reason why I'm in McLaren and not in Alpine, it is because the full-time driver that was in Alpine but didn't participate at the beginning of qualifying joined and just saw that I was in his car, and yeah, that was just a little bit yeah, I just got into the wrong car and I shouldn't be there. Instead I should be in McLaren, and yeah, that was the reason why I'm in McLaren and not in Alpine, and that meant that I couldn't get my dream, which was that Wiroski and myself race as teammates. A dream I had like 8 months ago, when we were in Elite League Racing Cup back in season 6. Wiroski was my reserve driver, and he replaced me when I couldn't participate. And yeah, I wish he was my teammate, but it almost came, but it kinda, because I was his teammate in qualifying, but not in the race anymore. So let's just head into the race. Alright, so we're waiting for the other drivers to get ready for it, and if they are, let's just wait until the race gets started. And well, some drivers didn't get ready, and we are about to begin with this race, and we are waiting for the fight brake lights to be turned on. Now they have, and the lights are on their way, and someone has already jumped the start, and we are up into P12 before turn 1, and we are heading into turn 1, and we're seeing that there's chaos, and they have spun, and they have retired from the race. Ferrero is out of the race, and that triggered the safety car. So we are up into P7. That's just pretty good for us. And well, let's just wait until the safety car ends. I decided to stay out, although I was in my mind, although not too seriously, that I would do a soft medium strategy, that I would box in this lap, but I decided to just stay out. Meanwhile, we're seeing that they are leaving the session, wishing that someone has crashed, and let me guess. Did they triggered a red flag and they moved to another lobby? And the answer is yes. Eddie decided to move to another lobby, and yeah, that was a red flag, and we have to move to another lobby. So this lap is considered as null, and race is now getting restarted in a few minutes. Meanwhile, I was just dodging the cars that were trying to kill me because they wanted to retire me from the session and join to another lobby, but I know that I'm having to join to another lobby soon, and I was just waiting for Eddie to join, well, to make the lobby, not join. He is the one who makes the lobby, and well, let's just join to that lobby after he makes the lobby. So let's just, well, we are now joining the lobby, so let's just get prepared for the race restart. So, okay, the reason I didn't show you the previous strategy for this restart is because it's just the same. Just I lowered the fuel by just 0.3 kilograms. So let's just get into the race with the 5 red lights being turned on for the second time. And we are on the way. I hope it is quicker than the first race start. And we are up into P11 before turn 1. And unfortunately, we dropped down to P12 and I didn't want to go into that corners, and well, we exited turn 1 in the same place as we started, so we didn't lost anything and we didn't gain anything. We're heading into Rayon, and we're seeing that normally just pushed me wide, and that gave us a warning, and wow, that wasn't deserved for me, and we're heading into Lecom, and we see the tape of contact. Oh my goodness me, unfortunately I just made contact and destroyed my front wing, and oh my goodness me, and you cannot do this to me, and oh boy, you cannot do this to me, absolutely. I just triggered a virtual safety car. There was just carnage into Lecom, and yeah, everything went wrong. Although the only thing that didn't went wrong is that my suspension didn't get damaged, so I'll still be in the race. Although, yeah, my front wing is completely destroyed, so I have to box for a new front wing, which would mean that my race could be over. So yeah, that's just pretty terrible for me. Let's just still be in the race just in case 8 more drivers retire from the race, although that won't happen, to be honest, and in reality I'll just be in that penultimate because I think someone will box for a new front wing as well as me, so it's not that obvious that I will be in dead last. So let's just, yeah, the virtual safety car ended, so that means that I'll lose like 30 seconds. That's just terrible. We're getting into the pit lane. We almost made contact with Commander, and well, here it is. We are beginning with that misery, and maybe it could last the whole race, and we'll be finishing in the lower field. We're changing our front wing, and yeah, let's see how far away we are from the field. We dropped down to penultimate place, and well, let's see. Alex, the one who was supposed to be in my car in qualifying, is in last place. So Alex and myself are in penultimate, in the last places, and yeah, that's just misery. And yeah, I think nothing is going to happen in this zone of the field for the rest of the race. And meanwhile, we were still in that misery, although we're up into P16 because other drivers spun and crashed. And box for your front wing, and that misery ended right now because the safety car got deployed. I don't know why, although it might be that someone crashed heavily, but not enough to DNF, but still heavy enough to provoke a safety car, not a virtual one, the real safety car. I decided to box for hard tires, although I was a little bit in doubt because the engineer didn't tell me to box for hard, and according to the strategy, I'll stay out until lap 11, which would be way after the safety car. I decided to box for hard tires, and well, at least that misery has ended because we are now getting into the bunched up field, and we're seeing that the McLaren, which is my teammate, boxed. Fortunately, I'm too far away from him, far enough to not be double stacked, and well, I was just seeing in which tires they boxed, and some of them are boxing for hards. So I decided to now box for hards, and although the engineer told me that I would box for softs and then for mediums, I decided to box for hards. And well, let's just see if I can make miracles without hard tires. But well, let's see. At least we are now getting into the bunched up field. We are now boxing, and we're switching our tires to hards, and we are about to exit the pit lane. And after that, we're just getting to the bunched up field and heat up our tires and wait until the safety car ends. And that wait for the safety car to end is happening at the end of lap 8. In this lap, the reason why I'm P14 instead of P16 is because one driver boxed and the other driver, which was Monchis, crashed into the barriers and retired from the race. That is ridiculous. Yeah, that's just frustrating for him. I can relate to him because that happened to me once in my debut in league racing, real league racing. Just 2 days after I joined THR, I had a race and I crashed during the safety car. And now we are now beginning racing once again, and I decided to overtake Widowski into turn 1, and I decided to just brake too late, and unfortunately I just braked too late that I locked my rear brakes, but it was enough to properly overtake Widowski, and we are up into P11, although we're seeing that Widowski is having enough slipstream, and I decided to deploy much of my ERS, much more than usual. And yeah, I'm just praying that Widowski didn't overtake me because he has very straight line speed than me. And well, we're heading to Bruxelles, and hope we don't run wide. We didn't run wide, and we're heading to no name corner. We're seeing that Godley has a 3-second time penalty. So that means that we are up into the points because he's now less than 3 seconds ahead of me. So that means that his place will be affected by his penalty, and I'll be promoted to 10th places. We're seeing that there's Joe Flax, and we're seeing that Samuel has spawned and is rejoining the track, and we're up into the points physically. And if we apply the penalties, we're up into P9, although that won't last too long because Widowski is trying to overtake me, and he's approaching me into Blanchimont. I decided to deploy much ERS because I don't have much straight line speed, and he's trying to overtake me into the bus stop chicane, and oh boy, I just locked my rear brakes once again, and still, I'm still in P10, although that won't last long. And Widowski is trying to overtake me into turn 1. I start to go around the outside, and that is just an epic defense from myself. Although that won't be much worth it because Widowski is very near from me, and he might have chances to overtake me, and Samuel also tries to overtake me, although I cannot make a 3 wide because the track is too narrow, and so I was retired from the race, and the safety car got deployed once again. And thank God I defended from Widowski and deployed way more ERS because I'm still in P10. So yeah, that's just a miracle for us that we're still in that position. I decided to box for mediums. Yeah. So let's just do that thing, because you know, uh, mediums have better grip and the engineer recommended me, so let's just go into those tires. Alright, so now we're heading into the pit lane and we're about to box for medium tires, and I was just breaking to respect the pit lane speed limit, although I just passed too much and I braked too much and locked my rear brakes, and that meant that I just got reset my position, although it was still in the pit lane. At least I didn't get the penalty. I was just running too slow in the pit lane, speed limit, and unfortunately I just dropped down to P14 and Widowski jumped me, and well, that's just pretty bad. Meanwhile, let's just get into the bunched up field. Well, you know, as usual, as I do in every single safety car. Punching up in the field, hitting up my tires and waiting until the safety car ends. So let's just do that thing, and yeah. And we are now ending lap 12, which is going to be the end of the safety car. Unfortunately, I haven't hit up much my tires, and they are barely touching the optimal temperature, and well, we just got too far away from the field in front of me, and we are still in P14. Nothing has happened, although Ferrero jumped us, although he kept our places back, and yeah, I think he's past the braking zone and we are far away from the field. I just got a terrible relaunch, and we're seeing that Widowski locked brakes and I was following his line. We're seeing the Widow has returned from the race, and we are not racing anymore because the virtual safety car has been deployed. I was just thinking that Widow, I don't know what happened to Widow. Well, in reality I wasn't really knowing what happened to him, although later the next day after the race, Poyeke sent us a video in which Alex was getting a little bit dirty with Widow, and they crashed into turn 2 between Las Falls and Aarhus, and despite both crashing, Alex ended up with just the front wing damage, and Widow ended up having suspension damage, and that got terminal damage, and he was out of the race. And we are now ending with the petrol safety car, and we are seeing that Widowski teleported a little bit, and that was just a little bit scary from me. And we are now heading to the campus corners. We're seeing that Alex got karma. Well, he was just dealing with that front wing damage, and he got drive-through penalty. Well, he didn't get by that crash, although he might get because he didn't respect the delta time with the safety car. And well, we are up into P12, and that is what happens if you get squeezed. And well, we are fighting with Widowski. We're seeing that we can get up into P11 because Arcade Zero has 9 seconds of penalties accumulated. That is just very terrible for him. We just set the fastest last sector and hope we can overtake Widowski, although well, let's see. And Alex just retired from the race, and well, he gave, in other words, yeah, and he's left the session, so yeah, he properly rage quitted. We are about to overtake Widowski, although well, I decided to just go for it, and we are heading to Lecombe, and we are still wheel to wheel with Widowski, and we are still in it, and I could overtake him, well, not completely, and we're heading into the cruise shelf, and we overtook him down the inside into the Crucial corner, and we are heading into No-Name corner, and we're seeing that Samuel is trying to overtake me, and getting into one. He decided to back off a little bit because yeah, it wasn't worth it to overtake him into one, and we're seeing that Samuel is trying to overtake me into Campus corner. I decided to give him space, although he didn't try much about it, so let's just come a little bit because into Blanchimont and bus stop chicane. Samuel won't have much chances of overtaking me, although he might do a thing. But well, let's see. We're seeing that Samuel is still behind me and has no plans to overtake me, and I said to just keep a little bit space for what. Well, he decided to not overtake me and just wait until they came out straight. And we're seeing that there's a little bit of fight between these drivers. I think it's a 5-way fight, or maybe a 6-way fight for like P6, I think so. And we are entering lap 15. Jars is now enabled, and Samuel almost gets squeezed by myself. And we're seeing that the two of our wheels are wheel to wheel and heading to August and Radion. We're seeing that Gottlieb Spurs are getting Gottlieb. Oh my goodness! I didn't have much reflexes. I thought I would DNF, but fortunately he ghosted, and despite that, I just cut the corner because I didn't know what to react. And we're seeing that Widowski overtook me, although he went wide, and Arcade Zero also went wide as well. We're seeing that, oh my goodness me, he almost crashed into me, but he ghosted. So yeah, that was just a terrible thing for me, and we dropped down to P11, although it might be like P9 or 8 because of these penalties from the other drivers. Although I'm in danger to have a penalty because I have now accumulated 2 warnings. So well, let's just be a little bit careful and not cut the corners. And we're seeing that Samuel is trying to overtake the driver who's in P8, which is Fran, I think so. And we're heading into the Stavelot corner, and we are now into that straightish, heading into Blanchimont, and we're seeing that Samuel is trying to overtake that driver, although yes, he's trying to do that thing, and into the bus stop chicane, and the safety car got deployed once again. I decided to box for soft tires, and they also decided to box for soft tires, Griko, Samuel, and Widowski. So I'm not alone. And all the drivers also boxed for soft tires. So well, let's just box into those tires and well, leave the pit lane. Let's see if we can jump them. So let's just get out into the pit lane and well, let's see if we can jump them, as I said seconds earlier. And well, let's see if these drivers in front of me can allow me, although that might depend by the delta time. We're seeing that the other drivers that didn't box are boxing, and unfortunately the delta time and also the other drivers in front of me didn't allow me to jump the drivers who didn't box, and well, they exited the pit lane just in front of this pack. So yeah, that's unfortunate that we couldn't jump any of these drivers, but well, let's see if we can overtake them on track after the safety car end. And the safety car is going to end at the end of lap 18, so we just only have a 4-lap sprint in order to come back and get into the points. Although I may be now in the points, but I may get a little bit reckless and get a 3-second time penalty, and that advantage that I would have would be faded away. So let's just be a little bit careful with that comeback I want to make. Unfortunately, I haven't hit up a lot with my soft tires, although these tires are now getting back into the optimal temperature. Although unfortunately, I just got too far from the field that is in front of me, and I got a terrible bus stop chicane, and we are now beginning lap 19, and we're seeing that Widowski is trying to overtake Griko. Oh, he got disqualified. He got disqualified from this race, so we are up into P11 physically, and we are heading into Aarhus and Rayon. And well, let's see if we can approach them. I decided to just deploy much of my ERS support. We're seeing that Ferrero is trying to overtake me, and despite that I decided to just stop deploying my ERS and still just defend my place. And we are heading to Lecombe, and oh, I have to be careful because I almost got the corner, And well, let's just see if I can maintain that place and get into that advantage of me not having a penalty. So well, let's see if we can defend from that place from Ferrero. But well, let's just get a little bit fast but cautious. Now we are heading into the Camel Straight, and we're seeing that Ferrero is trying to overtake me. I decided to deploy all my ERS, and there's now 3 laps to go. And we are heading to Lecombe, and we're heading to those corners. Unfortunately, I just got the corner. I got the 3-second time penalty, so that advantage has now faded away, and that means that I have to overtake them in order to get into the points. So yeah, unfortunately, I've done that mistake, and now I have to do it the hard way. And I also went wide into the no-name corner, and we're heading into 4-1, and I'm just praying that I would be fast enough to overtake Farfan. It wasn't Fran, it was Farfan. Yeah, I wasn't just knowing which was his gamer tag, although we're seeing that Farfan has gone a little bit wide into Stavelot. And well, hope we can overtake him into Blanchimont and maybe into the bus stop chicane, and we're heading into the outside of Blanchimont, and maybe we can do that epic overtake around the outside into Blanchimont. That is just pretty good. And we are now into the points, but we're seeing that the Farfan tried to re-overtake me into the bus stop chicane, but I could defend that place successfully. And now we are 2 laps to go, and theirs is now enabled. Unfortunately, Widowski is too far away from me to get his DRS, so hope we don't get overtaken by Farfan. Later, when I become Sector 2, we're seeing that Lumelin has returned from the race, and we're seeing that Joshua Hernandez is struggling a lot because he's dropped to 9th place, although he hasn't received a penalty yet. And we're seeing that, we're seeing that Widowski spun into 4-1, and we got up into P8, although it could be P9 if I'm not fast enough to extend that gap with Joshua Hernandez and myself to 3 seconds. The only driver I can maybe have chances to overtake is Samuel, because my teammate who is in front of Samuel doesn't have a penalty, and it might be a hard time, and also he's my teammate, so I cannot fight too much with him, or else I would be called like Esteban Ocon. And I just got another warning, but still it wasn't another 3 warnings. So we begin the final lap of the race. Although with 3-second time penalty, we're still not affected by the other drivers who got no penalties, although there are just very few drivers that are yet to receive a penalty. Before I saw that Joshua Hernandez was was in front of me all the time. I thought that everyone got the penalty, and we're seeing that Ferrero tried to overtake me, although he couldn't do a thing. We're seeing that Draco is struggling as well, and I can have chances to overtake him. And he is less than a second ahead of me, and well, let's just see if we can do this thing. And Ferrero has crashed, and he is out of the race, and we are now only 13 runners out of 20 drivers who started. And well, we're just seeing if we can overtake Draco. I just got confused with Bappy because he was in the Williams. Bappy was in the Williams, Draco was in the Williams, and also they have just slightly the same letters, well, the same amount of letters, but I decided to deploy all my ARS, although he had now another 3-second time penalty, and that means that, well, I just overtook him very easily. And well, if I wouldn't overtake him, I would still need to be more than 3 seconds behind him in order to get his place, the 8th place, although now I overtook him, and we are about to cross the line to finish P7. Wow. P7 from P19 to P7. What a comeback. What a tough race. It was very tough, and it was intense. Yeah, although I was just expecting to finish in a higher position, but P7, what a place. Meanwhile, here we see in the podium ceremony these drivers celebrating because they finished in the top 3, although they might not wanted to finish in this position lower than the win because they got affected by penalty. Just talk to Buck because he crossed the line first, but he got a penalty because of these track limit violations. Meanwhile, we are about to see the race results. Well, let's just head into those things, although let me just wait a few seconds. Now, here it is. Raptor won the race. He didn't get the penalty, as well as Commander, my teammate, and Joshua Hernandez, I think so. Buck finished second, although he crossed the line in first. Commander finished third. My teammate finished fourth. Samuel finished third. David, although he crossed the line in third place, according to him, he dropped down to sixth place and could be served if I didn't have a penalty. I finished 7th, Gottlieb finished 8th, although he's getting a lot of reports because he was being dirty with his teammate. Darko finished 9th, Widowski finished 10th, and these other drivers finished outside of the points. And yeah, Josh Hernandez finished last place, and here is the Belgium Grand Prix. So guys, hope you have enjoyed this video, and see you guys in the next race. Goodbye.